Usually it's 3. Usually they start at 3 and they go 3, 2.
Give people plenty of
the roll.
You gotta.
It's always an underhand pitch,
swish, yeah.
right? It's always an underhand.
Give a little swish.
You never go over.
Yeah, a little swish is that's what makes it special.
Swishy.
Okay. Excuse me. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Awesome Hardware. This is a live show that we stream every Tuesday evening. We stream to twitch.tv/awesomehardware, as well as our YouTube channels. You're watching the first half of episode number 206, streaming to my channel, Paul's Hardware. In a few short minutes, we'll switch to side 2. That'll be on Cal's channel. That's
a few short minutes.
A few short minutes. It's not going to take that long. I can tell you're already bored, Kyle.
Yeah, you're boring me. Step it up, Paul.
But no, for real, my half is going to be super short this week. Apologies for that. There's various reasons. I'm not going to go into them, but I do have a bit of news to share with you guys. Then we'll move to Kyle's half, and then later on we're going to do after party, where we will continue to drink beer and answer some questions if you guys are posting those in chat. Speaking of beer, we do drink beer on the show. We also occasionally use adult language, adult themes. So don't watch if you can't handle that kind of thing. Right now we're still going after this Oktoberfest keg that we cracked open last week. Fortunately, it's held up pretty well. Just been in the fridge.
I feel like it's less than half gone now.
Definitely.
We did a good number on it last week.
We're doing a decent job on it, I think.
We have a ways to go, though.
Got a ways to go, though. But we don't have... We'll do cheers in a second. We need more beer.
Yes.
No, add yourself more beer.
Okay. Yes. I will in one moment.
Okay. Quick announcement, by the way. We are doing a charity live stream, and we've actually set the date for that. So we're sharing it with you guys. It's October 7th, which is a Saturday.
November 7th.
December 7th.
December 7th. 2 months early, Paul.
Really on top of things. December 7th. Apologies. Sweet Jesus. December 7th, which is a Saturday, we will be streaming for 12 hours is what we're aiming for?
Yes.
That's the plan, unless either of us passes out from exhaustion or something like that. And so if you want to join us, please do so. And we'll be raising money for Extra Life.
Yes.
Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. Super nice. That's the plan, right?
We may do two.
We may
do two.
And we have some fundraising stuff leading up to that as well. If you guys have been watching my channel, I have a water-cooled system I've been putting together with the Corsair Hydra X series. It's really nice. Video 3 coming out on that tomorrow, by the way.
Yep.
That's the plan. So that's going to be auctioned off, and then proceeds for that are going to go towards charity. So
I am planning to build a custom water-cooled system as well.
Kyle's doing it too.
Just to spite Paul and to compete against his build and to make it far superior in every way. But it will also be auctioned off for a good cause, going to charity.
Okay. Well, mine will be auctioned off for a better cause.
Well, just fuck you.
Okay. All right. That's all for announcements and everything. And again, my half is going to be like extremely short this week. I've got like 4 things to talk about, and then we're going to move on. So apologies for that, but there's a lot going on right now. So you should be happy that I'm even streaming it all. That's what it boils down to. All right, tech news.
Mine will be extremely short this week.
Tech news.
All 2019.
Vaguely associated with technology. First article here is a rumor. It's a leak. It's a rumor. It's from WCCF Tech.
Gasps.
So, it could all be false and everything, but actual source for this is the SciSoft database. SciSoft. They make the Sandra SciSoftware. Toom Apisak, who is a Twitter leaker of all variety of things related to PCs, has once again scoped out that on the SciSoftware database there is an entry for an Intel Core i3 10100. Intel going with those super catchy 5-digit
rolls off the tongue
names there for their 10 series. The 10100 is a Core i3, but it has 4 cores and 8 threads.
HyperThreaded i3?
HyperThreaded, I've been led to believe in the past that was impossible. It was physically impossible for Intel to have a Core i3 with hyperthreading.
Oh, the beauty of competition.
But it would appear that Intel's breaking their own rules, or just expanding their lineup and making it more competitive. I guess you could look at it that way.
Following AMD's rules.
Yeah, they're doing their best to compete with AMD, so we should appreciate that.
I do.
We don't want to get to the point where AMD is like we're fine with 16 cores. Nobody needs more than 16 cores. And then like 4 years from now, everyone's like, AMD is the 16 cores, is just holding us back. And then Intel comes out with their 32-core mainstream processor.
We're bringing it back to gamers.
Like is that what's going to happen? Is it going to be a complete reversal? Probably not.
Probably maybe at some point.
But who knows? Point is, competition is good both ways. So I, for one, am glad that Intel's making this move, especially if it makes their entry-level lineup more competitive with what AMD's putting out there. So the i3 10100 has a few other specs listed according to the database, but this is an early entry, so these are subject to change. They have not always been accurate in the past. 3.6 gigahertz clock speed listed, nothing for boost or anything like that. 6 megabyte L3 cache, 1 megabyte L2 cache. And yeah, I guess that's about it for that.
Fascinating.
If you guys are interested in sort of how this, I guess here's the actual size software database entry right there with the 10100 CPU listed, very small text. Article's linked in the description if you guys want to check it out. And here's the current alleged specifications. Again, none of this stuff is like officially confirmed. Oh, I guess a few things, a few vague things are, but for the most part it's not. Pricing and whatnot. They are saying that the 10100 is going to be $130 with the 4.4 gigahertz. Look,
what?
How presumptive WCCF Tech is, just filling in all this data. Again, this is alleged.
How do they know?
It's very important to read that alleged at the top because some of these specs have been confirmed by some of the stuff that Intel has been talking about in recent weeks. So there you go. Anyway.
Look at those pluses on that 14 nanometer.
But yeah, I mean, Intel getting more competitive at the entry level. You know, it used to be it was $250 for the 4-core, and then you had to pay $350 to add hyperthreading to that to get your 8-core. So now getting a quad-core with hyperthreading at assuming this ballpark range of pricing is in the ballpark range of being accurate, like $130, that'd probably be a solid entry-level price.
AMD really did shit all over Intel's business model for the last 10 years.
Or you can look at it like, gosh, what Intel's margins must have been like for the past however many years, given what they continue to produce using stuff. Anyway, all right, moving on.
Meddling AMD kids.
Story over here from Tweaktown. This one's from Shannon Robb. Shout out to Shannon. How's it going,
his
man?
house.
Formerly of Thermaltake, Shannon Robb.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, InWin has this Alice case. Did you see this at Computex?
I did. I covered it.
You covered the Alice?
I did cover the Alice.
Look at that.
They're going forward with it, huh?
It is like basically like a hamper.
Yeah.
Or like a plastic frame.
It's like a crate.
Okay.
It's a plastic crate thing.
And then you've got like slots for adding stuff like a motherboard tray. So it's it's kind of modular like that. It's got
it's a hamper with a motherboard tray.
A chimney style airflow design. So
right.
Made for air to go in the bottom and out the top. There's a look at like a system being slotted into it with the vertical orientation for exhaust to go out the top.
Right. I looked at it as a test bed case, like a open air test bed frame.
That's what it's listed as. It could be a test bed. And you'll notice here in these pictures it's wrapped with fabric.
Right. Not
typically something that you expect when it comes to a computer case being wrapped in fabric.
Definitely not.
That's somewhat interesting. But to everyone's surprise, because like Kyle covered this at Computex, it was there at Computex. This went over my head somehow. It is now available for sale at Amazon. You can buy it.
What attracted me to it is that it's so cheap.
It is.
It's like even if you're not a huge fan of it, you just need a case. Some people like cheap out on their cases or don't even like buy a case. They'll just have all their because you don't technically need a case.
Yeah.
If you wanted to save $100+, you could just have all of your hardware laying out there on the table or on, God forbid, the floor or some sort of other surface.
On top of like a subwoofer.
On top of a subwoofer.
For like a few years.
Next to the pool. And just save money that way. Put it towards a higher end graphics card or a CPU or something like that. It's a $55 case. And it's hardly a case of that. It's really just a frame. It's really just a frame, more or less, that gives you the option to put a piece of cloth around it, which you wouldn't even need to buy one. You could just put your own around it. You know,
Does it
wrap
come,
it with a towel.
It does come with cloth, it would appear.
Yeah, that's if you wanted to make it a bit more aesthetic and you actually wanted to enclose it to some degree, but it's still a very much open air chassis.
Very InWin.
Even if you
cloth.
put the cloth around it.
Why is this? Hold on.
That was the one thing that attracted me to it at Computex, was that it was so cheap. I think originally they said it was going to be like $39, so they've upped it a little bit,
So
but
they
that's
increased
still
the price.
that's still pretty darn, you know. Anyone,
Just look
anyone
at the
can
quality
fork
of
out
this
that.
cloth right there. I mean, obviously.
It definitely is interesting in the customization, like customizable way, because you could have no two alike depending on what cloth you decide to drape over it.
It's tailored to you. Makes it special.
Yeah,
Special for you.
no two alike in the world.
Okay.
Yeah, it was an interesting concept. It definitely looks like a kid's PC. Like if you had a kid and wanted it to be fun, you know.
Yeah.
I could see it being like a good first, like a Fisher Price, my first PC. It would be this case. If Fisher Price made a case for computer builders, it would be the frickin' Alice.
That's reasonable, but then again, you've got nothing but fabric right here. Like kids running around, like running into that, you're gonna go right through that fabric and into the internals of the case there. That's
like
right?
be like pile driving into the
I don't know.
case.
I don't know how sturdy that is.
I mean, it wasn't like a loose blanket. It was pretty taut when I saw the samples they had.
It provides some level
It's pretty
of
taut.
protection.
You can't like push it hard enough to actually hit a fan or anything.
Okay.
It's pretty taut.
All right. Well, there it is. Shannon describes it as a plastic frame reminiscent of a laundry hamper or a small DIY storage shelf. Infinitely customizable, chimney airflow. Anyway, $55 for anyone who wants to buy one. It's available on Amazon.
You know what the other cool thing about this though is that I just thought of?
What's that?
It's potentially the lightest ATX case in existence.
It could be very light.
If weight is an issue, or if you need to like transport it from A to B, this is the lightest case that's on the market
it
for
does
an
still
ATX
have this
form factor.
internal metal frame. So
right, but the entire like you said, hamper. It is apart from the internal frame, it's a hamper through and through.
All right, so if you're having back problems, then that's the case for you.
Or just a weak ass like me.
InWin Alice. Okay, moving on. Next up, we have a story about NVIDIA and Quake 2 RTX. We talked about Quake 2 RTX here before, which is basically taking Quake 2, old beloved FPS favorite, updating it with ray tracing technology to suddenly make it look like 1,000 times better than it used to, with actual ray trace shadows and everything like that. There's no video shown here, but we showed it on a recent one. It looks really cool. NVIDIA apparently is starting a game studio, or I don't know how much of a game studio this is. It's called Lightspeed Studios, and they're going to continue to do this, adding ray tracing technology to old games. Presumably, they're going to pick games that people liked a lot or were nostalgic about or something like that. I think Quake 2 was a good choice to kick things off.
Yeah.
The source for this, though, is actually a job listing that NVIDIA posted, and it was actually several weeks ago that it went up, although this story only caught it just a few days ago. So back at the end of September, they posted a job that said, "We're cherry-picking some of the greatest titles from the past decades and bringing them into the ray tracing age. Thus, we'll be giving them state-of-the-art visuals while keeping the gameplay that made them great. The NVIDIA Lightspeed Studios team is picking up the challenge, starting with a title that you know and love, but we can't talk about here." If you think that title is Quake 2, it's not, because this posting went up after the Quake 2 RTX was already out and available. So it seems they have at least one title that people know and love that they are working to add ray tracing visuals to. So that's kind of cool. According to the article, which is from DSO Gaming, by the way, they said it could be Unreal or Doom 3, both classics in their own right for various reasons. So I think for a lot of people who, for me, a lot of those FPS games are kind of nostalgic. I don't play as many FPS games anymore. I think the one I've played most recently would be like Overwatch.
Yeah.
And that can be that's a game that can be very forgiving for people who maybe aren't that good at Twitch aiming and getting the headshots and everything like that. So, but I could see myself maybe going back to a game that's suddenly updated with fresh visuals, especially if it's a game that's a proven classic that, that people like and might go back to play.
Right.
Of course, flip side of this, if you want to be cynical, is to look at it and be like, well, NVIDIA is just reaching to try to promote ray tracing as much as they possibly can in any given format.
Yeah.
And this is like low-hanging fruit for them to go take existing games and just update them with some graphics engine, juju, and
I honestly think they
get
saw
ray
the
tracing.
hype around Minecraft RTX.
Oh, yeah,
They just saw how much hype and interest was around that. It's like a game that's been around forever, and I mean, I just like looked it up. Like
your glass.
there are videos that are like on Minecraft RTX that have like millions and millions of views. There's a huge
Really?
interest in this, and I think someone at NVIDIA or multiple people at NVIDIA was like, we should just do this for all the really top, like really popular old games and generate buzz for our technology that way, which I think is a smart idea. And it brings joy and nostalgia to all the people who enjoyed those titles back then, and being able to experience them in a new way, which is pretty cool. But
Right on. So if you want to go work for NVIDIA and do this, go ahead and check. I think it's on the job
Apply
listings
now.
on their website. You can apply, and then once you do that, let us know which titles you're working on.
Yep.
Because you
So we
can
can
be a
report it
mole.
first.
You can be an awesome hardware mole
Yes.
in the NVIDIA offices to share important information that you've probably signed an NDA for. Or whatever. It's okay. Just
Yeah.
you're risk. You're making that risk on behalf of the community. We thank you for it.
You're making that risk in return for not money but love.
Yeah, exactly.
We will love you. We can't offer you any cash though. I'm sorry. Cheers.
Yeah. We can offer you some more of this beer, though. But cheers,
Yeah, you
guys.
can
By the way, since we missed it at the beginning of the show, thanks for joining us today.
It's still good.
Oktoberfest. It is. It's quite good.
Doesn't foam up as much.
Kegs going strong. Okay. I have one more story to talk about. I know. It's over so quickly.
Yes.
This one's about Fortnite.
Fortnite.
If you guys,
Boo! Fortnite! Boo! Sorry, I just had to get it all out for everybody else on their
Okay.
behalf. I had to speak on behalf of chat.
for those of you who react that way to Fortnite, Kyle has channeled your rage, and we hear you. We understand you. But I'm still going to talk about this story because I found it vaguely interesting.
Yep.
Given, for example, that Fortnite is, I think, the most popular game in the past year when it comes to the number of people playing it.
In history, perhaps.
Given that it's a game that has a significant, push behind it from the developer standpoint, they're constantly launching new stuff and new features and everything like that, and they're trying to keep their game fresh and popular and everything.
Yep.
And in order to do that, they turned it off. They just shut the whole game down
Hey,
for
not a
a
bad
period
strategy.
of about
2 or 3 days?
almost like it was 35 hours, so it was basically a day and a half.
It
Or
felt like
roughly.
weeks for me.
It did seem like it might have been longer. Initial game shutdown occurred on Sunday. There was a Season 10 event going on that culminated in a completely new game mode being available for people. The only available mode was a team fight called The End. According to the writer, in my match, players... this is a Kotaku article, by the way. In my match, players clustered around Dusty Depot's rocket. At the end of the countdown, the rocket launched into the sky and cracked it. Pieces fell off, with bright blue capsules circling around the map. A capsule with a bright red line fell from a crack above Loot Lake, causing an explosion that launched players into the sky. The bubble around Loot Lake glowed and flickered. A meteor surrounded by capsules fell onto it. As I watched, familiar items like tomato heads and the battle bus were sucked into the explosion, including, eventually, the entire map itself. I was left with only a dark screen with a wormhole in the middle and the option to exit. So that's how Fortnite ended. And then like they didn't make any announcement. They didn't say what was going to happen. That just happened. And then it went for like well over a day where just nobody could play Fortnite. And
What a terrible.
I caught a little bit on Reddit, and I wanted to pull one up here, but I couldn't seem to find one as we were going. But they're just people posting their like 12-year-old brother just like losing his shit because he couldn't play Fortnite for over the weekend or whatever.
It's ridiculous.
Which was quite humorous in many ways. just smashing TVs and stuff like that. So anyway, obviously Fortnite was not over forever or anything like that. It did come back. They're not just going to end it. This was ending of Season 10 and the beginning of Season 11, which has now been revealed to be Chapter 2. They're basically sort of doing a relaunch, a refresh of the game. I don't know if you can call it Fortnite 2 or just... No, not really. There's a brand new map. It's still Fortnite. You still drop into the map with like 100 people, and you all fight it out until one person is left.
Do you still have to build shit? Because that's my least favorite part of the game.
Gathering stuff and building stuff is still a part of it.
I'm just too old. I'm just too old to like get behind that mechanic.
That was our once people started using that a lot and taking advantage of it, and you got to the point where you needed to be able to do that to play the game. When
I was out.
My interest waned for sure.
Definitely.
But anyway, apart from the completely new map, there's a revamped user interface, streamlined loot drops, new points of interest, and game mechanics. Epic also hasn't apparently uncovered the names of new locations on the map, which is intentional because it's part of the medal system now to unlock the names of those locations, so you can navigate the map more better, I guess. The graphics have been updated for the better. Bushes, fences, and rocks appear a lot more detailed.
Huh.
I guess you can't complain about that.
That's worth it.
The author Riley McLeod says the new island feels a lot more vibrant, especially in areas where flowing water inlets, which you can either swim in or fish for weapons. You can fish in Fortnite now.
So people were saying that we could refocus a little bit.
I don't. Oh, there's. Now it's appearing on screen.
How about now?
The brackets are back.
The brackets are back?
Yeah.
What?
That's so weird.
That doesn't make any sense.
That's so weird.
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't. Ah! Oh. Still there.
How?
It's one on my face right there.
No!
It's a little arrow.
How do you get rid of that? It shouldn't show it. It's never shown it before.
Is it showing it on the screen there?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to...
But when I hit display, going through all the display options, there's no option to fully remove it. So I'd have to go into the settings.
It's your shitty old GH4. It's just...
I know.
I don't know.
It's never done this before. I've done a million live streams with this camera.
Yeah,
it's never shown the stupid corners for the center.
For those who are asking, yes, this was part of the reason why we were late. Kyle had pulled the 4K capture card out of this system to use in his dual streaming system for that video. And after reinstalling it in here, for some reason it wouldn't accept the signal from his Sony. What's your Sony?
FS7.
Your FS7.
Should I try this again?
No, I think we should just live with the brackets. I mean,
You think?
I think a lot of people wouldn't even, like, if we weren't pointing out that they were there, I think a lot of people wouldn't even notice it, or it'd just be like one of those little Easter eggs that you realize, like, oh, Paul and Kyle is so clever, putting in a little Easter egg. What?
Wait, are they gone?
No, they're still there. See, you didn't even notice them. You were looking for them, you didn't even see them.
Far away though.
You guys don't notice the brackets, right? It's just fun. Oh wait, they're gone now. You fixed it. Don't touch anything.
Ah! What the fuck's happening?
I don't know.
How did it go away? I didn't do anything.
I'm so confused right now. I have no idea what's going on.
Just keep walking.
All
of this because I was trying to focus the camera a bit more.
Sol says that's bullshit. People will notice a mouse fart in the audio.
Basically.
All right, good. Fixed. Problem solved.
The keg's out of focus. Maybe I should.
The keg is out of focus. That's fine. That's artistic.
Okay.
All right. So new Fortnite. Blah blah blah. That's fine.
Fart night.
All right. That's all I got from my half, guys. Again, apologies. I hope I warned you ahead of time. This is going to be a short half of the show. Switching to Kyle's half. He has a much more full and engorged half of his show.
Totally.
It's ready to go. We're doing some Pimp My PC and some more tech news.
It'll blow your mind.
And we got an after party coming at you soon too. So check the video's description for links to his half, which I don't think are there right now. I think I need to add those. You added them late, and I don't think I have to.
I added them plenty of time ahead.
So much going on today.
You shush.
I'm sorry. I'll fix it. Wait, I'm gonna fix it right now.
Boom.
There it is.
Boom.
Save. Okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. Thank you
Everything's
for
great.
watching, you guys.
Yep.
We'll be right back for Kyle's half.
No problems here.
Yay.